Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So today is a very exciting day. I get to report on a massive Second Amendment victory that in my mind in this century only comes second to Bruin. A federal judge has overturned a federal law that is going to have an effect on millions of people across this country. So let's talk about it. This channel is proud to be sponsored by SDI, Sonoran Desert Institute. If you ever wanted to take your hobby to the next level, check out their online courses by clicking the link down in the description box or calling 480-999-4767 and get a head start on your future today. Okay, so this is a very interesting case. We're talking about the case of Fraser v. ATF. This was heard by a federal judge out of the Eastern District of Virginia. Now, this is an interesting case because, yes, we have our standard plaintiffs in this case, and there are several, but they also included everybody that falls within this group of people, so within this class. As a matter of fact, it says plaintiffs themselves and all others similarly situated as a class. So again, they included everybody within this class across the country in this lawsuit. So what we have here is a group of people who are under 21 years of age who have challenged the federal law that says if you're under 21, you cannot purchase a handgun. So that's how it stands right now. If you are under 21, long guns are okay, but they basically are prohibited from an entire class of arms, and they state that under the Second Amendment, they should not be prohibited as law-abiding adults. And what's incredible here is that the judge agreed. So not only did the judge side with the plaintiffs in this case, but he did something that you don't see very often, especially in cases like this, and he issued a summary judgment, which is one of the things the plaintiffs were asking for. A summary judgment basically means that it doesn't need to go to trial. The judge is basically going to look at the merits of the case and the existing evidence in the case, and he's going to come up with a decision on his own, and that's what he did, finding that this prohibition on people 18, 19, or 20 under federal law is a violation of their Second Amendment rights. And again, this affects an entire class of people across the entire country because they were kind of combined in there with the plaintiffs. So this federal judge struck down that law and also struck down the ATF's interpretation of that law. Because again, the law itself and the way that the ATF interpreted it really do look like two different things. So again, the judge sided with the plaintiffs and granted their motion for a summary judgment. And this is a huge win for anybody across this country, 18, 19, or 20. Now, there's 71 pages, more like 70 and a half pages of this order. So the judge was extremely thorough when giving his decision. And he covered everything from Heller to McDonald to Bruin. I mean, he went through text, history, and tradition. He went through absolutely everything before he gave this order. But let me just go ahead and read you the first couple paragraphs here. So this is really interesting. This matter is before the court on the defendant's motion to dismiss the plaintiff's First Amendment complaint and the plaintiff's motion for summary judgment. For the reasons set forth below in the following 70 pages, the defendant's motion to dismiss plaintiff's First Amendment complaint will be denied, and plaintiff's motion for summary judgment will be granted. So if you're somebody who's interested in this case, I will put a link to this document down below so you can read all 71 pages for yourself. I gotta say, it's a long read with a lot of legal mumbo jumbo, but it is very, very fascinating when you read what this judge wrote. So here's the thing. This has an immediate effect, obviously, on the law in the United States and who can get what at what age, right? But this is a district court judge, which means that there's still room for appeals. This could be appealed to the appellate courts. It could be appealed then to the Supreme Court. But this is still a major victory. And I'll tell you why this is better than a win after trial. So if this went to trial and there was all this different discovery and evidence and things that were brought up through trial and so forth, and then the judge issues his opinion, that's fine, right? But this basically states that that wasn't even necessary. This summary judgment basically tells the higher courts that it wasn't even necessary to go to full trial because just based on the merits alone, just based on existing evidence alone and Supreme Court precedent, this judge was able to make his decision just off of that alone. And so it sends a signal to the higher courts that this isn't going to require that much more, right? So when they look at that, they'll have to take that into consideration, and the fact that he has 70 pages to go through in his decision that back up why he gave that order. again, the appeals courts are going to have to look at that as well, and they're going to have to read through exactly why this judge did that, basically creating his own evidence, right? And as to why he did this, so that the courts that are higher up are going to have to read it and go through that, and they're going to have to acknowledge it, basically. So it's, to me, a bigger win than winning at trial. This basically says the trial's not even necessary, which is fantastic. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. That is a major win for everybody in this country, because it's a huge 2A win. But at the same time, if you're 18, 19, or 20 and you've been prohibited, and you're a prohibited class, even though you can sign contracts, buy a house, buy a car, get married, join the military, you can do everything else, but for some reason you're prohibited from only one of your rights, this is a major victory. A major victory, and hopefully this continues. And I'm almost guaranteed it's going to be appealed by the ATF, and it's going to go up further. But I think that, again, we have a pretty good chance of a win here. Once it does, I think, make it to the Supreme Court. So again, huge victory. Absolutely loving it. Let's keep them going. Thank you all very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and you guys have a great day.